Hot Mike with Hunt and Withrow out of the gates and ready to go. Assault by Baton. A high school track athlete faces charges. College basketball player shows us the pitfalls of getting the bag. And Aaron Rodgers walks a beach while the Steelers wait for his decision. Hot Mike starts now. Like, comment, and subscribe to the OutKick YouTube page. Chad, I know you saw this, even though you missed it early in the week on the show. The Baton bash, the bashing. That
was something.
I referred to, no doubt. For those who missed it, this is a high school state championship track meet in Virginia. And you have two competitors here. Layla Everett is someone who's facing charges now, plus Kaylin Tucker, who was not feeling well after taking the baton. We'll show you that. Here is the competition, and
I've never thought of the baton as a weapon until seeing this.
Seeing this, and wait till you hear what she said that was really happening on Good Morning America. But she's tried to claim that it wasn't on purpose, that it was that she got tied up and rolled up her back or whatever with the baton. Here is Layla Everett, who is now facing charges of assault.
Everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right? They're going off of one angle. A couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit. I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video.
No, we don't like the racist slurs and the death threats. But if there's a narrator on that video, it was on purpose. Would be the narration of what we just saw. So the charges against Everett, now facing a misdemeanor count, assault and battery. This through Fox News. Yeah,
so she needs help. I watch that and I think to myself, this is someone who needs to go seek counseling because, first off, it's not normal to have the reaction of, I'm not going to hit someone once with a baton, but twice in the middle of competition in the back of the head. And then it's really not normal to your response to be to go on camera and cry and play the victim and say that people aren't, they're seeing that she got physically hurt, but what about me being mentally hurt for being the attacker in this situation? So I see a young lady who needs help. That's what I see with this whole thing. And until she gets that help, she probably doesn't need. She needs to face the repercussions of this. Like, this is a criminal activity that you don't want someone that's capable of that then believes that they're the victim to be out amongst everyone else,
no doubt,
and able to do it again, because that sounds like someone who could physically harm anyone in any situation because she justifies it with her own emotions and then comes back and plays the victim, even if someone's on the ground bleeding next to her after she stabs them.
Well, I mean, in this case, there was fear of like a skull fracture. No joke.
It's bad.
The relay team, of course, from the high school was disqualified. But that reaction is well said, Chad.
She needs help.
Yeah, no doubt. And hopefully finds that. And by the way, the right thing's being done here with the misdemeanor charges.
Yeah, I'd say lock her up, but I don't think she needs to go to prison forever. I think she needs to be away from society seeking help and understanding that it's not okay to possibly fracture someone's skull with a baton in a race, a foot race, in a track meet. And the fact that you're doing interviews defending it and acting like you didn't try to do that when it's on video of you doing this exact thing, that shows me someone who's not stable.
No doubt. We'll have Dr. David Chow join us coming up in about 25 minutes.
We have our physical doctor, our medical doctor. We need a psych. We need a shrink also for the show to come on and try to – because Dr. David Chow is terrific at looking at an injury happen and diagnosing this happened. I bet he's 97% correct when he did. We're going to ask him about a big injury today with Cooper Flagg and of Duke and find out what he thinks about that. Now I need someone who can just watch this woman being interviewed
diagnose?
A sports psychologist comes on that has the degrees and all that. Not just me. I'm pretty good at it, but I don't. I didn't go I didn't go to medical school. I didn't go for the full MD. But someone who could go on and diagnose someone
Chad
with
will
whatever.
diagnose.
Yeah.
Put you on the couch.
I don't know what this woman has that does this, but she's not fully right. Is what I can. This is what I can see on the video, and then the response to what she did.
The immediate response was to play the victim, which is just again bizarre. There, Aaron Rodgers is playing the Bachelor again. Rodgers is hanging on Malibu Beach while everyone waits on the NFL's LeBron James to milk the attention and drama for another offseason. It looks like he's on Laguna Beach here back in the 2005 MTV.
Some old school board shorts.
Yeah,
I think I had those board shorts in 2005.
Contemplating which girl to go bang is what he's doing
on
Laguna Beach here.
I bought those for $42 at Pacific Sunwear in 2005.
This is his first time as an unrestricted free agent. And the guy for another offseason wants us to all believe he needs time to go within himself to decide some crucial decision. Dude, do you want to play effing football or not? That's really what it comes down to. The Steelers are awaiting. The Giants wanted to give him space after making an. I'm just when Adam Schefter's is just like it's the decision will come in time. That's all they're given, and I don't think there's a big decision unless he's going to retire. But all the reports leading up to this were like he wants 2 years. He wants to play 2 more years. If that's true, pick a team and go with it, man. Because other teams are trying to figure it out, and the Giants are hosting Russell Wilson tomorrow. Russell Wilson in Cleveland today. He'll be in New York tomorrow. That's one of the teams that has an offer on the table. What we don't know officially is what Minnesota's doing. And, there could be a scenario where he's waiting on Minnesota to decide if they want in the game or not. But I don't know. Chad, this is we're going on 3 straight off seasons now. Really 4 or 5, counting the Green Bay off seasons, where it's the Aaron Rodgers, the season of Rodgers, just like it's the off season of LeBron. Like it's tiring and it's predictable. And I want the Rodgers back that went to the Jets initially in the trade. I want that version that provides the energy and the boost to the locker room. Certainly not the 4 plays and done, but I don't. The photo's just funny. It's ayahuasca or the darkness retreat or wherever he wants to go. He's on Malibu Beach contemplating a crucial life decision, whether or not you want to make millions or not.
He also looks like a guy who's contemplating whether or not to pick up the acoustic guitar and go play it for his friends around a campfire
start a bonfire
on the beach. It's like, should I do it? Should I play more than words?
How is Daily Mail? How are they phrasing this? Exclusive, solemn. That's the word, solemn. I mean, it's just attention whore is what I would put.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that he got the Daily Mail to go and take this photo of him.
No,
but just him sitting there staring off into the ocean.
The fact he's just on Malibu Beach alone, he knows someone's going to see him.
What do you think he's listening to?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Enya?
That's a great question. What would he listen to?
All by Myself by Celine Dion. Would be better if it was like an upbeat tune from Wicked. He's just listening to show tunes in there the whole time, and the Daily Mail thinks that it's a solemn look.
I think he would probably be right down our alley with music.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, he's not. He says Bon Iver is his favorite music.
Of course, yeah. That tracks.
Yeah. Bon Iver.
That's what he's listening to there.
Yes. According to Google. Shout out Google.
Let's leave this photo up as I talk about this because I just think it's important.
I love it
for the visual and the audio of this to come across.
Was it Natalie and Bruglia that did the song for the?
Did he date someone in music of his? I don't
Danica
know. Patrick, Olivia Munn. Was there?
Who was it on Laguna Beach? The
LC or Lowe?
No, there was Lowe. There was LC. This is right up my alley. There's Kristen Cavallari.
Yeah, of course.
No, but I'm saying like the opening song to the show. That's what he's listening to right
Let's
there.
Let's find that because that's the type of band that we need to find. I can't help but look at this photo, and not reiterate that I do have a soft spot in my heart for all things Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, it's Hillary Duff.
I don't know. She sings that's awesome.
Yeah.
I will forever have a soft spot for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what it is about the guy, but there's just something that makes me laugh about him, especially late era Aaron Rodgers. You know, the vaccine stuff, just everything about it. There's just something comical, but also something that I love and appreciate about Aaron Rodgers that I can't get past. All of that being said, one thing we know about Aaron is that Aaron loves love.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this guy loves the heat. He does not, is for someone who claims as much as he does, that I don't care what people think anymore. I watched the whole Netflix series. This was a constant theme. I just realized that I tried to make people happy, and people are just not going to like me for whatever reason, but I'm misunderstood, and here I am with this old lady at the Lake Tahoe Pro-Am every year that I talk to. Look how nice of a guy. I promise I'm really different than everything else, but I don't care. I am who I am, and if you don't like it, screw you. I don't care. I don't care what people think. But then this whole song and dance, I'm thinking, for someone who says they don't care what people think, you really care that people need to love you. And that you really do actually care what people think. And you really want an NFL team to get on their hands and knees and crawl in the sand like Kevin Costner and Robin Hood when he gets back to British soil. And he's like making love to the sand when he gets back on the British Isles. You want a team to come crawling through that ocean on the sand, hands and knees, and say, please, Aaron, please deliver us from evil this season.
Please finish.
And come rescue us. The Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants, please, you are our deliverer. You are our savior. You are the one who can make this happen for us. This is the look of a man who wants that to happen.
Yeah.
He's looking across the ocean. Now, he's on the wrong ocean for where people may be coming. But he's looking across the Pacific thinking, who's going to, row up with their oars on a paddle boat and just come up here and beg me to come play for them? I mean, that's what he wants.
Oh, but
he wants the love.
But they're already doing that.
He wants to be serviced. He wants to be.
He wants prima nocta.
Come to me. Tell me how much you love me. Tell me the players you're going to bring in to help me. And if not, then I guess I'll just wait on the other team to do it.
Well, I mean, the Steelers and the Giants are waiting on him right now. And Russell Wilson's waiting on him because the Steelers ultimately are going to have to go back to Russell Wilson, potentially, which is where they don't want to go. They're begging the ex-Jets quarterback to join their team after their quarterback just left for the Jets starting job. The Jets let their quarterback walk for the Steelers quarterback, the backup. And they're like, yeah, we're done. We're released post June 1st. Peace out. And the Steelers that's where they are. They could be a good team, but they're still not going to be the greatness that that they're striving for. They're very consistent, but they're far away from finding that QB. It's either Rodgers, Wilson, or what?
Best option available. He's the best option available, I believe, of the veteran guys.
You have to wait,
but this is what you got to do. I mean, you got to wait for Aaron Rodgers' Enigma season 2. That's what I feel like is being shot here on the beach.
My overall, no doubt. My overall point,
I didn't know that it was going to be an ongoing series.
I know.
Await season 2 as I contemplate in Costa Rica, in the jungles of Costa Rica, on ayahuasca for a second time, and then I go to another darkness retreat and figure out where I'm going to go.
Yeah, so, I mean, but it's just it's annoying to me because every other quarterback can make up their mind. Yeah. It's like, hey, Justin Fields, do you want to play in Pittsburgh or New York? Well, I'm taking $30 million. Guaranteed. I don't need to wait. I know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers' job.
Well, there's just a lot of quarterbacks, too, that I just don't think there's a lot more going on. Like, they're quarterbacks. They're football players right now in their lives.
The two teams that are desperate for the quarterback want this guy.
Yes.
So they have to wait it out.
There's just a lot more going on with Aaron Rodgers. I believe the guy loves football, and he loves being a football player and being on a team and all that. I think that he truly loves the game. You don't make it as long as you have in the career without loving it. I believe he loves it. I just think he loves love. Mm-hmm. He loves drugs. He loves reading.
He loves it all.
He loves everything. I mean,
Monty
watch
Bear.
the guy on Celebrity Jeopardy. The dude loves a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot more going on. I'm not, questioning anything about Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is just a young quarterback. That guy wants to play ball.
Well,
so
but-
he's going to be quicker to make a decision because it's all football based and related and money, obviously. But with Aaron Rodgers, it's like you're signing up for the whole package, man.
But
all of it's all right
future
there.
Pro Football Hall of Famer, free agent at 41. Brady would be taking the visits and then choosing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not doing this. He may do it on a yacht.
It's a great close-up,
Hey,
you guys. You guys
by the
got
way-
of him. Do you remember we had Craig T. Nelson on the show?
Yes.
And he was in like his Malibu home.
Yes.
But before he came on with us, he was just strumming
Maybe
the
it's
guitar.
in his backyard.
Yeah, he's just strumming the guitar. Remember that?
Yeah.
I could see Aaron Rodgers growing into a Craig T. Nelson-like figure from that interview.
Yeah.
Because he's just kind of looking out his window, strumming the guitar, singing a little bit. That's Aaron.
One of those old guitars with like a hole in it.
Yeah.
It's been used so much. Hey, by the way, this is news that was reported on Tuesday. News that Aaron Rodgers he's already made up his mind. Reported by CTESPN on Tuesday. Who had it first? Antonio Brown had this report. CTESPN always has it first. Deal is finalized. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, 2-year deal. The most trusted source in all of sports. CTESPN.
I really want
CTESPN Network.
I really want Adam Schefter to have to credit CTESPN for the report. So when it actually comes together, he has to say, as first reported by CTESPN. Let's say it happens 2 or 3 weeks from now. As first reported 2 weeks ago by CTESPN. I just want someone at ESPN to have to quote a report from CTESPN. I want to read the ESPN story about Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers, quoting CTESPN. For their reporting.
I every time I think of Antonio Brown on CTESPN, for whatever reason, I think of that children's book that he had where it says "Daddy's home, Daddy's coming home" or something, and it's Antonio Brown in the living room of Tom Brady's home as Brady's leaving.
All I think about now with him is constantly posting like Jimmy Kimmel's favorite sandwiches, and it's just a bunch of footlongs. Like he just posts. If you go into his account now, he's posting phallic-shaped food for different people. It's like this person's favorite cake, and it's just cakes that are phallic-shaped for different men. And every time, it's so childish, but I can't help but laugh. And I don't even know why he's going after the person from day to day.
I know.
I don't know what they said or did, but it's someone different every day.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Strahan's favorite donuts, and it's the long version. It's just, but it's still, it doesn't get old.
What
What an account!
I wonder what he posted about Mac Jones. Mac Jones headed to San Francisco. Of course,
finally
back in 2021, there was a lot of speculation that the 49ers originally were going to draft him instead of Trey Lance. 4 years later, Jones some $7 million deal, 5 guaranteed.
It also just feels like Mac Jones in a bizarro world kind of is Brock Purdy as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, the 49ers are in a weird spot. We talked about it yesterday, but it's like, you don't want to sign the contract we put on the table? That's fine. We can produce other Brock Purdys on an assembly line. We're the 49ers, and our offense is conducive to a lot of quarterbacks having success. Oh, by the way, we're going to bring in another version of Brock Purdy in here, this dude who played at Alabama, who's sort of been a bust so far, but with us, he could probably do your job.
Think about the chance and just the bad luck. Mac Jones goes to the Patriots. He's a Pro Bowler in year one, goes to the playoffs. Then he has Joe Judge and Matt Patricia calling plays and coaching him. And meanwhile, out in San Francisco, Purdy's playing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
And now Mac Jones could be playing for a Super Bowl based on their history. Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, if we're doing a sequence of quarterbacks to go to the Super Bowl for the Niners, makes perfect sense.
Still under contract is Kirk Cousins with the Falcons. General Manager Terry Fontenot has been insisting that his team is not going to trade Cousins, that they're going to keep him. We'll see. He's got a $10 million roster bonus coming up. Mason Rudolph back to the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. And Cooper Kupp, he's a free agent. Where does he land? Chad, there's according to several people that are covering this on a national scale, they're all saying, and we'll talk with Armando about this, there was like half the league picked up the phone and called him as soon as the Rams released him. The main teams are let's see, So
Cowboys.
Ravens, Cowboys, Chargers. And then there are the run-of-the-mill teams that you would expect. Broncos. The Broncos make sense there too. But Kupp, though, has not been as effective getting open. Like just the route rate where he's breaking open on a route, not just catching a pass, but open. He's like bottom of the wide receiver list when he was at the top in 2021. So we have seen a drop off there. Take that for what it's worth. I would sign Cooper Kupp. Although he's not going to make the money he once did. Making money is, that's the theme in college sports. Chad, there's a NCAA college basketball player who's showing us the pitfalls of that.
Yeah, Coleman Hawkins, who was a great player at Illinois, transferred to Kansas State and is finishing out his college career at K-State. It was a disappointing season for the Wildcats, not going to make the NCAA tournament. And when they got put out in the Big 12 tournament, Coleman Hawkins got a lot of attention because this was how he responded to that loss when being interviewed post-game.
These guys haven't experienced some of the things I've experienced. And, I really wanted to come in and impact the program. Fuck, man. I'm sorry for crying, but this shit hurts. But I really wanted to come in and impact the program. And, some of the stuff, the outcome, obviously wasn't what we wanted, but if someone asked me if I regret coming here, I tell them, I don't regret meeting my team, the coaching staff, the people I met, and my heart just breaks for them because, like I said, they just haven't experienced some of the things I experienced in my career. But same thing for the fans, because I feel like I let a lot of people down. And I feel like I did a poor job of letting people talk about me and it affect my play. And it was evident all year, and I wish I could just go back and block out everything, not for myself, but for the team, so we could have had a more successful year. But, this is a learning lesson for me, and I wish the best for the future of this program.
It's pretty jarring to see that response and that level of emotion from a player. We're going to talk to Kelly Stewart a little bit later. She's a K-State grad. She knows more in depth about the inner workings and behind-the-scenes stuff that went into Coleman Hawkins leaving Illinois for Kansas State. A couple things here. One, I applaud the self-awareness that's displayed there, the humility from Coleman Hawkins to legitimately be upset about how things turned out for his team. I applaud the self-awareness of saying I allowed some comments about me online from people or fans to affect my play all year long. And I wish I could have that back, and it affected my teammates negatively. And because of that, he didn't play up to his potential. I'll also say, view this video as a cautionary tale, that it's not always best just to take the bag. There are many circumstances, and I look at Coleman Hawkins and I think, what could Coleman Hawkins have done on this Illinois team that's going to be in the NCAA tournament with some of the great players that are there? Had he stayed at Illinois, how would his college experience have been, having been, at one place your entire career and graduating there, maybe not taking all the money to go somewhere else? It's not always best just to take the most money or go to the highest bidder. There is an opportunity cost about leaving somewhere. Too many guys in college sports are worried about the opportunity cost of money left on the table by not entering the transfer portal and not taking the bag to go somewhere else. I present to you Coleman Hawkins at Kansas State as an example of why not just to take the money. Here is someone you would think, boy, they got to be happy because they got paid a lot of money, and I'm sure everything is fine, and they're at peace in their soul with that decision to take the money. And I watch that video and I see a guy who's very distraught about the situation that he entered into, not because he thinks that his coaches were out to get him or his teammates, but because he took on a ton of pressure on himself that he wasn't ready to take on. And when you take that money, and if you have a conscience about it, then you're going to feel bad when you don't perform up to expectations. And that's the example. And Coleman Hawkins, I think, can be shown as an example to a lot of great college athletes that look around and say, who's going to pay me the most? That's where I'll go. that's not usually the best way to make a decision.
Well, and there's always pressure. Who knows what's going on in his, background. In any case, with a girlfriend or family or whatever, there's pressure and outside pressures caving in as well when you start getting that type of money, big money. So it's a tough transition. You go from wherever you're from. I was from a very small town, or I am, and I can't imagine getting $2 million all of a sudden.
And it's not just that,
from
like
17 growing up on a farm, and then all of a sudden here's $2 million.
Well, and you're leaving friends. I mean, you've been, around those teammates at Illinois or guys that leave one program after years.
Right. Yeah. That's
coaches and friends. Like, it's not like they're just cutting them off and never talking to them again. They're probably texting with each other. Hey, man, could have used you, the other night. Hope you're doing well. And that stuff just leads to like, man, did I make the right decision here?
Well,
and then you let a little bit of negativity online, whether it be troll accounts or whatever, get to you. And as he said, it affected the way he played all year long. I think it's sad to see it, the way he responded to it. I think it could also serve as a great lesson to a lot of players.
Chad, we are saddened today with the loss of one of, if not the best sports writer, period, for sports authors, period, John Feinstein, who passed away suddenly earlier today. And, of course, A Good Walk Spoiled, A Season on the Brink, which is the number 1 best-selling sports book in the history of that platform. The Rivalry was one. What you said before the show, 45 books he authored.
45 books and A Season on the Brink in 1985, written in 1985, spent 17 weeks at top of the New York Times best-selling list.
That is the best-selling sports book of all time. Yeah.
It's a great one, and he's such a great author. I don't think that's his best book. His Civil War is my favorite John Feinstein book of all time, and it's a season inside the Army-Navy football rivalry, and they go inside of both academies, West Point and the Naval Academy, and it is a fascinating look at the people that made up those teams, their backgrounds, and what you go through at an academy. I highly recommend that. And John Feinstein, for my money, is the best sports author.
Yeah, I think
he's the best. I put him up there. Wright Thompson's really good too. But long form sports writing.
Yeah, right. Not the biography, but the
to me, he's the best of all time. 68 years old.
Entrenched.
Died at his brother's house on March 13th. He submitted a column on Tom Izzo the day before he died, which shows a lot about his work ethic. The Washington Post even put that out. And Hutton, we were lucky enough for years to have him as a weekly guest. I was
going to say about 10 years probably.
Yeah, weekly guest on our old radio show, and always offered great insight, great ideas.
And he was great this time of year in March.
Yes. And this was his time.
Yep.
This was his time to fight for the little guy in March Madness, to fight for more mid-majors, getting a chance to play in that tournament.
And he covered Navy, did he not?
Yeah, he did a lot of color commentary
every week
on CBS. He did radio for Navy, but he did color commentary on CBS Sports, the Patriot League.
Yeah, okay.
I remember for years and years. He always did their tournament and their games during the week. But not a lot of writers like that now.
No.
That cover sports to that degree, that invest in long form storytelling,
and
like
have the
John
ability
Feinstein.
to go behind the scenes for a season with Bobby Knight. Like to have that access. You don't get that much anymore. And because a lot of times the person that you're writing or covering or the season that you want. I mean, I think Clay's a great example on Rocky Top. He did that in 2007. I don't think knowing that Philip Fulmer was going to be out at the end of the year, but that certainly is that's a history in and of itself, where he's entrenched for a year. John was doing it, on an annual basis.
Yeah, and John, he's
very nice
so many great books. And again, he was, as I started reading more about sports, he was a literary hero of mine with those books, especially the Civil War. So having a chance to talk with him and text with him and have him on a show was thrilling for me. It was a great gift to our old radio show when we had him on. So R.I.P. John Feinstein. In my book, the best to ever do it, and prayers for his family during this time.
Yeah, no doubt. Thoughts and prayers there. And John Feinstein passes away at the age of 68.